Hello everyone, my name is Rahul and today's session is on the voice codec. Mainly I will cover G711, but there are more codecs which are used by industry in current environment, that is G729, G722, OPUS, iLBC and specs, right? And before proceeding this sessions, let me give you brief about myself. My name is Rahul Maurya and I am having around 17-year experience and mainly on the Cisco voice domain. And this session is prepared for those who are working on in industry in voice world, or if anyone interested to start their career in voice, right? So let's start this session. So G711 is primarily used in telephony VoIP network. This is also known as a pulse code modulation. It converts analog signals to the digital format and sent to the far end, right? And the latency is very low for G711, and the bandwidth which is used by G711 is 64 kbps. I will show you how the 64 kbp come via calculations, right? So you can see over here, this is the voice sample, right? And over here you can see the time series, and here is the voltage, or I can say amplitude of your voice, right? So every samples in a 1 second, the system will take 8,000 samples. For example, here it shows 13 till 13. So in a second, the system will take 8,000 sample, and each samples are presented in 8 bits. For example, this one, right? It start in first sample start, and let's say the number of the amplitude of this sample is, let's say, 5, right? That's 5 is converted into the binary, and then binary is converted into the bits, and that is 8 bit. So in G711, this 8,000 samples are taken care of from the samples for within a second, and each samples are converted into 8 bits. So 8 into 8 bits into 8,000 samples is equal to 64 kbps, right? So you can see over here that 8,000 samples per second and 8 bits per sample. So 8 bits into 8,000 is equal to 64 kbps. That is the speed or bandwidth which is used by G711. And G711, it's actually in the two format. One is ALO and other one is the MULO. And A1, oh sorry, ALO is used in mainly in the European countries and the India also. So before making your implementing your system, you should be aware of which country you are configuring your E1 circuits or T1 circuits. Accordingly, you have to plan for your codecs, right? Sometimes it happens that you have configured your circuits or your gateways on the ALO, right? But the service provider or ISDN or PSN service provider might be looking for MULO. So in that case, you will see some error on the circuits or the call disconnections, right? So you should be aware of which country, which codecs are preferred, right? And the MULO is mainly used in North America and Japan, right? So and about the voice quality, the G711, it's a best quality because it is not compressed, right? 8 samples, sorry, 8,000 samples and 8 bits, 64 kbps, right? So no compressions there. On the other side, there are some codecs like G729 or G722 iLBC. What happens in that, it is compressed the audio. That means the sample in within a seconds are less as compared to G711. And the most value, the mean opinion score is more than 4. So mean opinion score is like it's a standard to measure the quality of the voice. Applications, so where we are using G711 codecs, so all the PSN circuits, ISN circuits, all are using this G711 circuit codecs. Along with that PBX, whether it's Avaya PBX, Cisco PBX, Genesis, right? All are using or supporting the G7 G711 codecs, right? VoIP, SIP, RTP stream frequently using this G711 because of low latency and simplicity. Audio signals are for the conferencing, right? And the gateways and media servers, those all are supporting the G711 codec. And advantage, as I said, that it's a simple and low computational complexity, and low latency is there, and robustness. So these are the advantage of using G711 in your environment. And the limitations, as I said, it is using 64 kbps of speed. There are some other codecs like G729, G723, OPUS. Those are using less bandwidth, like 8 kbps to 32 kbps, right? So, but the voice quality is best in G711. If there is a constraint in your environment and uh, you can use then G729, right? In later slides, I will show you the comparison of all the codecs, right? So summary, it's high audio quality is there and low latency. That is the main advantage, or I can say the the points why G711 is more famous in industry, right? And G711 is compatible with all of the phone system, right? Whether it's Cisco phones, Avaya phones, Genesis phones, Ericsson phones, all the phones they are supporting G711. Here you can see the summary, like G711, it's a standard phone quality, low latency, reliable, and high bitrate. On the other side, G729, you can see lower bitrate, that is 8 kbps in comparison to the G711, right? High latency. On the other side, G711 is having less latency, right? Compromise on the voice quality because in G729 samples are less as compared to G711. So there is a trade-off between your for voice quality as well as latency. So this requirements this is your requirement, whether you are having sufficient bandwidth in your environment to set. You can, in that case, you can set up G711. If there's a constraint of your bandwidth, then you can use G729 or G722, right? Like G722, it's a higher sampling rate, better voice quality, high bit rate, right? On the other side, Opus, that is mainly used by Cisco Jabber and Zoom WebRTC. So these are the new codecs which are used, right? iLBC is open source and robust, right? In interviews, someone can ask you questions related to some situations, right? So for example, if you have two sites, site A and site B, and whenever site A is calling to site B, uh, you are seeing the call disconnections, right? So you have to troubleshoot it. So that's what someone can ask in your interviews. How can you work on such scenario, right? So you can think of anything, but the point what the interviewer can or maybe want from you is like how you can troubleshoot in the on the codec side, right? So in such case, there might be two things. First might be the firewall. You have to check if there is any firewall between site A and site B. If yes, you have to check whether the RTP ports are open on the bidirectional, right? Because you are using might be you are using some codecs or the voice ports are not open over there, right? And the second things what you can see on the codec side, uh, one side you are using G711 and other side you are using G729, right? uh, so whenever you call to the other party, phone is ringing, right? All the signaling part is good, but whenever the other party is picking up the phone, your phone get disconnected because your codecs you are sending in G711 and they are expecting the codecs in G729. So there's a mismatch of the codecs. And to fix this issue, you need some transcoder that convert or help you to build the communication between G729 and G711, right? So from these questions, interview will get clear that uh, you have the idea of the codecs, right, and how you can troubleshoot. And also sometime you have to be verify the site, its location, whether you are working in, you have to use G711 MULO or or G711 ALO, right? So these are the questions which can ask in your interviews, or which can be helpful in your troubleshooting. And I hope you like these sessions, and please like and subscribe, and so that I can prepare more such sessions. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Bye bye.